Sup? So today I'm going to be showing off some of the things I bought in the recent convention I attended. So I'm only going to be talking about the most interesting things because trust me, I did spend a decent amount of money on anime stuff. Mostly like a lot of posters and manga and stuff. And those aren't necessarily as interesting, so I picked out like here are the cool finds that I I I saw there and I just had to come home with for one reason or another. So I guess I'm gonna get into it. By the way, this is a mouse pad I've been rocking. It's the Oregairu one. I got it from Ami Ami. It's one of those like rubber playmats or whatever they call it. They're actually pretty good. Like I'm no expert on like professional gaming mouse pads or whatever, but like I haven't noticed any issues with it, and I play games on it all the time. Like I mean with the mouse, but I digress. And get the manga out of the way first. This is a volume I saw that caught my eye because I saw the spine and it said otaku, and I'm like, boku wa otaku desu. This is volume 2 though. They didn't have volume 1. It was one of those places where they just had a bunch of manga thrown about, and I didn't really. I mean, maybe they had volume 1, but I couldn't be bothered to spend half my day searching through various bins of manga because that wasn't necessarily what I was looking for. But I picked this one up anyways, and it says "I Otaku Struggle in Akihabara." Initially, I thought it was one of those Tokyo Pop, like English original manga or whatever, but it's not. It was a Seven Seas one, and it's actually by a dude named Suzuki Jiro who did some of like the Ryukishi 7 stuff. Um, well, but yeah, it seemed pretty interesting. I saw the first volume on Amazon, so I placed an order for it. So we'll see when that arrives, and I'll give it a shot. There weren't any scans of it online, which was interesting. So, uh, gotta give it a read to see what I've been missing. So, I'll talk about the next thing, which is the music, which I guess was the theme of this year. Every year I go, there's something that I end up focusing a lot on. Usually it emerges naturally. Like after like the first day, I realized I've purchased a lot of this, and that's what I'm into. The first year I went, it was like idol stuff. Second year it was Ava stuff. Um, I forgot. The third year was Toho stuff, and this year it was music specifically, or generally speaking, music, I should say. Um, so I'll talk about the first thing on top. This right here is a single. For those who aren't aware, a CD single were produced in Japan. It's like it's a mini CD, not a mini disc, a mini CD, um, with usually like one or two songs on it. This one only includes Sotsugo Graduation and Sotsugo Ryoko as the two songs, and then the third and fourth are the instrumental slash karaoke versions. And this is from an anime called Sotsugo Graduation. Funny story about this. After I bought this, that night, I went to go watch Sotsugo because I thought I had it on my hard drive. I ended up having another show called Sotsugyose, or Graduate, as opposed to Graduation, which is this one right here. So I ended up watching that, and Sotsugyose is like a sequel or a spin-off to Dokusei 2. So I ended up wasting my time with that, I guess. It was kind of interesting to see because it's one of those like 90s Bishoujo game adaptations, which I probably would have watched anyways, but I wanted to watch this one, whatever. So I purchased this because it was like, dude, this is actually pretty neat. I don't own any singles, and it's from a show I was at least very somewhat aware of. I believe it's developed by Elf. So I'll put that off to the side somewhere, maybe right here. The next booth, I got a lot of Kotoko stuff. So let's see what we got here. The first one. I don't want to reflect it back at me. I'll reflect it at the monitor. This is Kotoko, Love a Riddle and I Can't Get Over Your Best Smile. Both of these are from Onegai Teacher. Onegai Teacher is a pretty solid show. A lot of people miss out on it. Because a lot of people, I guess, think it's like this MILF thing, but it isn't. It's kind of that, but not necessarily. It's also like, it's just like this cool romantic drama, kind of rom-com, but mostly drama, in like rural Japan, and it has excellent music. All the music The opening is done by Kotoko, same thing with the ending. I Can't Get Over Your Best Smile is probably one of my favorite songs by her. And this is solid, dude. This is solid. I saw this and I'm like, I love Kotoko. I gotta get that. So right here. Next up, it was another Kotoko album. This one has a minor scratch here, right here. I didn't mind it. This is Second Flight, which is the opening for the spin-off, or like in the same universe, because there's two shows, Onegai Teacher and Onegai Twins. Onegai Teacher came first, followed by Onegai Twins. Kotoko did or a large amount of the staff worked on either one. Kotoko did the openings for both. Second Flight is the Onegai Teacher and Onegai Twins soundtracks were composed by a group called IVE, or IVE Sound. And you might be familiar with them because they produced Short Circuit. This is Short Circuit 2. I saw this and I'm like, dude, this is probably one of 2 Denpa CDs at this entire convention. So I picked this one up. The only other one I saw was Under 17 Best 3, which was kind of cool, but I already own it, so I didn't pick it up. Hopefully someone else did. But I saw this one and I was like, I've been listening to Short Circuit this week because I was re-listening back through them because I was on a bit of a Kotoko kick, as you can see. So like when I saw those, I had to buy them. So I saw this and I'm like, yep, gotta purchase this one because there's some excellent songs in here. And this is anime, so I think this is like an anime exclusive or like a special edition version for, specific to that show. Or not show, that shop, because it's a shop in Japan. So this is a mix. Kotoko does some on here, but it's all produced by IVE, Kotoko, and I forgot what's her name, do vocals on it. But I saw this and it's pretty cool, and I'm like, yep, I like this album, gonna purchase it. Next up, we got an interesting one as well. This is Full Moon o Sagashite, and this is the final debut. So it's just music from the final live performance that they have in the show. I love this anime. It's really great. There's some excellent music in here. Like there's Eternal Snow, Smile, and Myself. So basically the main image songs from the show are in here. And I'm not sure if they're specifically the live version, but there's some interesting stuff in here. And I saw this and I'm like, yeah, I like the music and I like the show. Gotta purchase it. So here we go. All the CDs I purchased, I made sure that they had the proper inserts and the obi. And they're all in surprisingly good condition considering they're at a convention and they are used. Next up, Songs for X-Girls. This is a T Pazlite album. Not necessarily my favorite T Pazlite album, but I saw this in just for the novelty of it. I also saw a couple of the hardcore Tano-C hardcore syndromes there, like the compilations they put out. But I don't necessarily like a specific hardcore syndrome per se. I think 8 is pretty good, but like it may be like 5 or 6. I can't remember which ones I like. Maybe I'll throw them up on the screen if I'm not lazy. But the thing with those is that they're kind of hit or miss depending on who's producing each track. And I don't necessarily like every producer at Hardcore Tano-C. I like T Pazlite though, so I picked this one up right here, and I'm familiar with this album. It was one of the first I listened to from him. There's a couple good songs on here, like Since I Was So Young, Lemon Heart, Vox Diamond, and then you got some of the remixes here. Distorted Love Song is also pretty cool. Open it up here. Hardcore Tano-C, and then here's the obi right here. I'm not gonna take it out, and then insert CD. Pretty neat. I was like, yep, gotta pick up some J-Core. Last up, we got this one right here. This is the last CD I purchased, and it's one of the Zune music collections. This one's volume 4, called Retrospective 53 Minutes. So Zune needs no introduction. He did the music for the Toho series. He did like rearrangements of the songs with I believe proper instrument programming. I'm not 100% certain, but these are more orchestral as opposed to the MIDI soundtracks of the Toho games. And this is, I think, I would say maybe my second favorite, or maybe third, but that's not. But that isn't to say that it's bad. It's just that Zune put out so many of these really good music collections. My 2 favorites are Changeability of Strange Dream and Magical Astronomy. Alright, so here's the track list. This one's still excellent though. We got some good songs on here. We got the CD here, and then the insert over here with the OB. So we got some cool stuff. And it was only $16, which I think is a small price to pay for excellent music. They also had a couple of Toho games for PC, but I didn't necessarily feel like collecting them because they didn't have my favorites. And also, like, kind of the thing with these doujin games as well is that a lot of them are freely available online, especially the Toho games, with already pre-patched and for like the full screen bug and stuff, and as well as the translation patch included. So like it would just be mostly a cool collector's piece. So, but they didn't have my favorite games, so I didn't pick them up. This last one isn't necessarily from the convention. It's just something that came in the mail recently, and I figured I'd show it off as well, since it's like the end of the month haul kind of video. This is the from DJ Kuro Neko. This is Neko Garage. I purchased this alongside with the t-shirt. You know what? Let me go get the t-shirt after I show this off. The art is pretty cool here. I'm a big fan of DJ Kuro Neko, not only because he makes good music, but also because Kuro Neko is best ori emo girl by far. Not to say that Kirino is bad, but got this album. Let me go grab the shirt real quick. Got the shirt here. It's the DJ Kuro Neko, spoken like a true junglist. Rudy Goko is the cutest indeed. I 100% agree with that. Spoken like a true junglist. Big beats are the best. Flat chest is best. Shout out to Mad Breaks. They're a cool label. Last up was from the same booth as all the CDs as well. This is Idolmaster Gravure for You. This is a PS3 game. This is the Yayoi edition. Yayoi is one of if not my favorite Gen 1 girls. So we got here. This is a special edition one with all the stuff inside. I haven't opened it up yet, but it looks to be in really good condition. So like you can see, like on the edges and stuff, there's hardly any damage. Yeah, so the Gravure for You is a series of games I haven't played yet, but I'm interested in. Like if you're watching this video, you probably know what Gravure is. But for those who aren't aware, I'm not sure if it's necessarily a brand like Playboy is, but it's a style of photography, or just actually I'm not even 100% sure what it is. But if you know what Gravure is, you know it when you see it. But it's like a style of safe for work, but also somewhat erotic photography and video. I'm not necessarily sure if it's like a brand, like I said, or if, yeah, I don't know. But I picked this game up because I saw it and it was like $29, might as well. I got a couple other Idolmaster games I have on my backlog. So next up I'm going to show off the doujinshi, which I should be very careful with because there's a couple of 18 plus ones, so I'm going to tread lightly. Actually, let me first show off the cell. I've been meaning to purchase a cell for a very long time, and I just haven't found the correct show for it. And then also, I've held reservations for that because, like, when you search on eBay, it's hard to tell if, like, what the quality of a cell is unless someone actually takes a picture of it, and it's kind of rare that they do, or at least a decent picture. But in person, you're able to gauge the quality of the cell pretty well. So I picked up a cell from a DNA Squared. This is Ami from the show. Unfortunately, there's hardly any art of her. And it was a show which was adapted from a manga by Masakazu Katsura, I believe is his name. And he's one of my favorite manga artists, not favorite mangaka, because I really enjoy his art, but I can't stand his anime for the most part, or not anime, but like manga and anime, because his shows and manga are usually garbage, but the girls are really cute. It's kind of like, reminds me of Akiyuki Shimbo in terms of like the realistic moe type of character design. But I believe, I feel like these lean a bit more into the realism side with like the proportions and stuff. They also have a bit of same face, but I like the face, so I don't mind. So I picked up this cell here. It was kind of pricey. It was $44. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not a hardcore cell collector or anything. I just purchased it out of, like, I want a cell and I like this character. Especially since there's hardly any art of her around, so it wasn't necessarily a weekend for saving money, let's say that. Because I guess a bit of word of advice for people going to a convention for the first time is don't expect to find good deals. You're going to go there and you're not going to find what you want, but you're still going to buy stuff regardless. And it's not necessarily going to be things that are well priced either, but they're going to be things that you might only be able to get there. Like some of the CDs I purchased, I'm sure you can find them for better prices on Yahoo Japan auctions, but you still have to pay like import fees and shipping and stuff, as well as like service fees for the proxy service and stuff. So you're not looking to find shit like really cheap. You're buying it because it's there and you're able to gauge the quality, and you're also paying the service of the people bringing it to you. But that being said, I still spent with reckless abandon. Let me move the doujins out of the way. This first one is a safe doujin, so we're all good there. We got this one right here. I saw this one. Let me see here. Yeah, I guess that's safe. I saw this one right here, Shining Collection. I'm not familiar with the artist, but it looked cute and it was like $2. So I'm like, well, not $2, but it was fairly cheap, and I figured that I might as well just buy it just to see what it's all about. Because a lot of these are just like kind of interesting to just have and flip through. But I don't know, it's pretty cool. Safe for work doujin. These other ones are not safe for work, and I spent a pretty penny on these, but these are all excellent books. Like if you're looking up here, we got some good stuff here. I put this one on top. Hopefully this video isn't flagged or anything, because this is probably the safest cover. I also have a collection of doujins off to the side that I've collected from previous years. But this year I knew exactly what I was looking for, and I pretty much found almost all of it. So right here I got these top books. These are all from the Circle Orange Maru. The artist is YD. So I got this one right here. Let me put it right here. First one's the Jogasaki Mika book. This one's excellent. One of my favorites. We got one right here with all three girls there. Then we got Asanagi book from Fatal Pulse, being the circle. This is another classic. It's another classic there. And then we got a Mikan book from, I can never say the artist's name. I don't know how it's supposed to be read, but it's like 410 Ichigo. But I love his Mikan art. All his To Love Ru books are top tier, dude. Top tier books. And then another one by him is this Kuro one. This is another excellent book. Like, he specializes in To Love Ru, especially Mikan, but I think this Kuro book is probably the best Kuro book I've seen. So he does the lolis really good. And then lastly, we got Pochigoya book from Dagashi Kachi. Dagashi Kashi, I should say. Oh, is that a nipple? No, it's not a nipple. It's covered. She's wearing a bra, okay? Don't freak out. Pochigoya did like a series of like 3 or 4 of these Dagashi Kashi books. They're all really good. I couldn't remember which one I liked the best, so I just picked one. And naturally, as all the good otaku would, you don't look at the price. You just check out. You buy the doujins. That's what you go for. And like, I know a lot of people don't like to go to the doujin stands because they will overcharge you, but like, this is the only place to get these books unless you're in Akihabara, and even if you go to Akihabara, there's no guarantee that you will find these books, especially from big circles like Orange Maru. I think Orange Maru is pretty big now, or at least they're popular online, but like Fatal Pulse and Pochigoya, there's no guarantee that you're going to find good prices over there, and you would have to pay for a plane ticket or have a friend who lives out there. And last but not least, we have the Kimi ga Nozomu Ein art book. I purchased this one because I'm a big fan of this series. It's finally going to be getting an English translation for the visual novel sometime this year, hopefully. But it's another Ajay visual novel. Most people know him for Muv-Luv and Muv-Luv Alternative. But I much prefer Kimi no Zo. The anime is excellent as well. It's the better version of White Album, let's say. They're not really necessarily the same, but they're both like popular drama visual novels, and I much prefer this one. So yeah, I've been collecting a lot of art books lately. I have the Pongkan 8 or Pokon 8, but the Origairu illustrator did like his best work and compiled it into art books. So I purchased that one. I also got the what's it called? The Here, let me just grab it. Ponkan 8 art book here, or artworks, I should say. It was a required purchase because of Yukino. Got this one from Amazon Japan. I also purchased the Poyoyon Rock. What is this one right here? It's like characters, I guess. These art books I didn't purchase this month. These are things that I've purchased this year, more or less, but I figured I could show them off since I'm wrapping things up here. And then this is the one I was talking about. It was Harem Gold. I know I had gold in it, but this is the To Love Ru art book. This is probably the best art book I've purchased. The most worthwhile. This was like $80, but like it's hardcover. I'm not gonna pull the slipcover up, but like it has a slipcover, and if you slide it, it reveals what's underneath the garments here. And there's a couple pages where that's the case as well. But this guy right here, it's Kentaro something, right? I don't remember his name. I can never remember this guy's name. But like all his art is top tier. Like he's easily one of the best artists in the game drawing hot girls. No one draws Momo better than he does, and because he's the original mangaka. But this is an excellent art book. But anyways, that was a bit of a tangent. That was what I purchased this past weekend at the convention I went to. Who knows when this video is going to go up, because I might have to edit a couple things out. But I just figured I'd show off some of the cool things I found this weekend, as opposed to like just like the normal stuff, because like I picked up like 10 volumes of To Love Ru and 7 volumes of Beastars, but like that's not too interesting. Much more interesting, in my opinion, is seeing like the cool things like this art book specifically here, or like the obscure CDs that I found, which I don't think they're necessarily all that obscure, but like to find them in person at a convention like that, and that someone is carrying them, I think is pretty cool. I guess that's about all. So I'm just gonna be signing off for now. See you next month, I think, when I do the next video of Pars Buys Shit.